Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the Journey to Greatness, day 156 of 365 with David McDonald, the GOAT. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. All righty, let's get started. So if you're just joining us for the first time, good morning, Liz. If you're just joining us for the first time, meditation is perfect for clearing your mind, finding a place to be still. If you're sitting in your bed or if you're laying in your bed, I highly suggest maybe sitting up, but technically you can meditate from any place. And so today, one thing to focus on maybe might be healing. Be inside of your body and send healing energy to the places that are bothering you. And say to yourself, I am not in pain. I am healthy. good morning, and welcome back. Hey, Auntie, good morning. Okay, so we just finished our meditation routine, and now we're getting to get into our reading routine. Dun-dun-dun. So right now, we're reading Think and Grow Rich, and we're coming to the end of the book. It's been a very good book. We're on the last 20 or so pages here, or 30 or so pages. So I will see you guys on the other side. Very interesting. Oh my gosh. This is crazy. Very interesting. All right. Welcome back. Welcome back. Okay, so good morning, Jay. How's it going? Marcus. What's up, brother? Good morning. Um, so we're gonna move into our journaling routine. And at the end here, we're gonna do something kind of cool. So if you don't have a piece of paper and you're laying in bed, you're gonna have to get up and get one because we're gonna build a cabinet for ourselves. So in our journaling exercises, I usually like to start off by writing about what I'm most grateful for. And in the morning, the things I'm most grateful for are waking up and being in exceptional health. So the journaling in the mornings are really good for releasing things that may be atop your mind, things that you want to let go of, things that you wish to manifest. I usually like to take a day back and show my gratitude and respects to the day before for all the opportunities, for all the experiences I was able to have, and what I was able to learn from them. And then going forward, what I wish to learn or what I wish to have, in the next coming days. So I think just being in that constant state of gratitude gives you so much more value. And when I say value, I mean I feel like you get so much from your days, because you get to reflect. So with that, if you have any questions on the specifics of writing in the journal, let me know after the session, and then we can talk about it. But otherwise, I'll see you all on the other side. Alrighty, so welcome back. Okay, so let's jump to our book real quick, and then we'll jump back to our journal. So hopefully everybody has a piece of paper in their hand. So in this chapter, or in these last few pages, I will say, Napoleon Hill has. We were talking about yesterday about the sixth sense, and so the sixth sense is the sense that we can't see, obviously, but it's the sense that allows us to create a reality for ourselves. And quite frankly, it overpowers the senses and the reality that we experience on a daily. So it's important to be in contact with it because, and to know that it's real. You have to have faith, obviously, and know and connect with it with a very tremendous burning desire of what you wish to achieve or what you wish to manifest for yourself. And just know that the sixth sense is there. It's living within you. It's like a guardian angel, is how Napoleon describes it. Napoleon Hill, for everybody who's joining us for the first time, is the author of Think and Grow Rich, which is the book that we're reading. So we're all on a path to find out what our life's mission is, right? And the way that Napoleon was able to come into his philosophical discoveries was he had these cabinet meetings. So like big governments like the president and things, they have the different cabinets, and they usually meet for counsel and direction and guidance and advisory. And so what Napoleon did in his earlier years is he created a cabinet of people who were significant to him. Long before I had ever written the line for production or endeavored to deliver a speech in public, I followed the habit of reshaping my own character by trying to imitate the 9 men whose lives and life works have been most impressive to me. These 9 men were Emerson, Paine, Edison, Darwin, Lincoln, Burbank, Napoleon, Ford, and Carnegie. Every night over a long period of years, I held an imaginary council meeting with this group who I called the Invisible Counselors. The procedure was this. Just before going to sleep at night, I would shut my eyes and see in my imagination this group of men seating with me around the council table. Here, I had not only an opportunity to sit among those whom I considered to be great, but I actually dominated the group by serving as the chairman. So, one second. Okay, so I had a very definite purpose in indulging my imagination through these nightly meetings. My purpose was to rebuild my own character so it would represent a composite of the characters of my imaginary counselors, realizing as I did early in life that I had to overcome the handicap of birth in an environment of ignorance and superstition. I deliberately assigned myself to the task of voluntary rebirth through the method here described. Building character through autosuggestion. So what Napoleon is saying here is he created a group of like I said, of advisory board or imaginary council, people that he looked up to. And then later in the chapter, he goes through the chapter and he actually mentions what he said to each of these imaginary teachers. And then he rebuilt his character based off of this imaginary space, this creative space, this creator space. And this is amazing. I mean, when you talk about like finding people finding a group of people like you are who you surround yourself with, Napoleon Hill literally created an imaginary community with only the best people around him. Well, best in the terms of creation or imagination. I don't know about any of the other qualities, but for him, it was just like he's asking for the gift of a person who has like understanding of nature and science. He asked for the genius for Einstein, the philosophy and guidance of Darwin. And so he went through pretty much, let me just read one, for example. Mr. Emerson, I desire to acquire from you the marvelous understanding of nature which distinguished your life. I ask that you make an impress upon my subconscious mind, or whatever qualities you possessed which enabled you to understand and adapt yourself to the laws of nature. I ask that you assist me in reaching and drawing upon whatever sources of knowledge are available to this end. So what he's saying is excuse me, what he's saying is he's connecting with this person. He studied the character. So for example, for me, somebody who I'm like, wow, Jeff Bezos, the Amazon, the founder, I believe still the CEO of Amazon. Jeff Bezos, I mean, there's not really much else to say about that. Mark Zuckerberg, is another very, very creative mind. Oprah Winfrey, Wayne Dyer, Tony Robbins. There's Mahatma Gandhi. Like, these are all people that I would be sitting around in the room with, or I'd want to sit around in the room with, and ask that they're impressed in knowledge and Gina be impressed upon me, and for me to create to a dynamic or to a space as big as they have and even bigger. And so what he has done, Napoleon Hill, is, you guys remember auto-suggestion? The auto-suggestion box is when, and then I'm going to get into our exercise here. It should only take like around 5 minutes. Remember, the auto-suggestion is us brainwashing ourselves with positive material. You brainwash yourself with positive material. You brainwash yourself with positive material all day long, all the time. You constantly remind yourself of how great you are, how powerful you are as a person, as a human, this, that, and the other. Well, this auto-suggestion box begins to create itself in front of you. And then so any transmitted signals or messages that come through this auto-suggestion box, right, they come to you, they get filtered. So they come in negative, they come out positive. They come in negative, they come out positive. They come in positive, they come out positive. They come in ultra positive, they come out ultra positive. No matter what the outcome is, the whole goal of life is to program ourselves, or one of the primary goals to me in my life are to program myself so that everything I hear is like music to my ears. And the way that I respond is like as if it's touching me, like it's music to my ears. And so what Napoleon Hill has done is he's taken that same concept of auto-suggestion box, and he has now internally projected that into imaginary space with people all around him who have done nothing but marvelous things. And so he's rebuilding his character based off of how all of these people look at him. So you got, Carnegie over here. You got Burbank over here. You have Emerson over here. You have Edison over here. You have all of these very, very like societally impactful people sitting in a circle, and they're all looking at him as the chairman. He's the leader. And so everything that he's hearing, like imagine being the president of the United States, right? Like everybody's looking to you for guidance. Everybody respects you. Everybody's on your team. Everybody's there to see you do well. All of these people in the room who are the greatest creators of time are looking at Napoleon Hill as the godfather, as the president, the chairman. And that's how he's building his character and his confidence. Whoa. Okay. So that's what he's talking about. And he does it to a point where he starts to very, very, very deeply believe that his philosophy is going to change the world. My method of addressing the members of the imaginary cabinet would vary according to the traits of character in which I was, for the moment, most interested in acquiring. I studied the records of their lives with painstaking care. After some months of this nightly procedure, I was astounded by the discovery that these imaginary figures became apparently real. These meetings became so realistic that I became fearful of the consequences and discontinued them for several months. The experiences were so uncanny. I was afraid if I continued, I would lose sight of the fact that the meetings were purely experiences of my imagination. That's a really clear sign that Napoleon was very, 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 very in tune with what he was doing. And amazingly enough, he was just very much in tune with what he was doing. That's how real it became, and it was Carnegie who actually inspired him to write this book. And this book was written so long ago, and it still applies. I would say almost 60 or 80 years later. All of the concepts in here. This has 15 million copies in print. And needless to say, I think that obviously his genius continues to move on because we're still having a discussion about it. Truth between the lines of the pages. So now what we're going to do in terms of that exercise is, I think it's a good and fantastic idea to write down who would be in our cabinet. So if you go to the front of your journal, if you've been journaling, write down. Okay, so if you go to the front page of your journal, the front couple pages, similar to how we did in our last journal, where we wrote down our $1 million statements and ownership. Write down the top. Let's say the top 7 people. The top 7 people that you admire for a certain thing or a certain greatness that they've shown in this world or exemplified in this world. And then write the quality that they have impressed upon you. So, for example, I would have Oprah as one of my cabinet members because of her ability and her capacity to be charismatic and to use her words in a way that come from a place of loving courage and support. So that would be the skill, or that would be the blessing that I would ask from Oprah, or I would assume from Oprah. For Wayne Dyer, it would be like the spiritual connection and the ability to articulate the spirit through words and connect with people energetically on multiple frequencies, coming from multiple spaces, and being able to operate from my highest chakra, right? So like that would be something I would take from Wayne Dyer, and so on and so forth. So does that make sense, everybody? Are we on the same page? I think we are. So top 7 people that you would have in your cabinet. Ready, go. I'm on person number 5. All right. I could add a lot more people to this list, but for now, we'll just keep it as is. So what do you guys think? Should we just conclude for today, or do you guys feel that you want to hear, do you guys want to hear what my list is, or do you think we should log off for now and come back tomorrow? Okay, so we will wait until tomorrow then. And well, if you guys want to know, then let me know. But I have my list. If you guys want to know how I wrote it and what it looks like, then let me know. But otherwise, thank you everybody for joining. Hey Ma, how's it going? Good morning. Yeah, for everybody who joined and jumped on the messenger board this morning, thank you. I hope that this exercise was helpful. So the formula for this exercise is to read and connect with your imaginary counsel every night before you go to sleep. And not only that, as a segue, we're also supposed to read our. We're not supposed to do anything. It's suggested by Napoleon Hill. He has us doing homework and actually applying. Is to read out loud our $1 million statement every morning and every night before we go to sleep. So now we have 2 mental exercises that we should be exercising on a daily basis through our teachings of Napoleon Hill, which are awesome. So he's definitely providing a value to us, and that's what's most important. So good morning, Carl. How's it going? What's on my list? Yeah, I could read that, Marcus. No, sugar. Yeah, so SpongeBob. No, I'm just joking. Sorry. So on my list, Oprah Winfrey, for her ability to use words and express love, encouragement, and support, her charismatic energy and global popularity. Jeff Bezos, for his genius and ability to foresee opportunity in something and capitalize on it to a level of monopolizing an industry. Warren Buffett, for his ability to be so strong in his area of specialty, ability to analytically think and create further in space of finance and real estate. Bill Gates, for his founderism and philanthropy. Bill is a genius of his time and recognized an opportunity to change the world and normalize the way we function and live our lives. Wayne Dyer, for his ability to capture audience and express his feelings in spiritual awakenings through word and literature, to still an audience with his presence and build global appreciation. Mahatma Gandhi, captivate more than 200 million people and earn the patience and balance of energy. For his dedication and positive public eye view, transform the meaning of love and spiritual guidance and togetherness. Jay-Z, overcome challenges and be the best to come, the best to be, to share a reality and create a lifestyle brand shaped around royalty and being tapped into self. Steve Jobs, for his vision and creator mindset, known genius, greatest to ever do it, and first to arrive. Those are my eight councilmen. And that's first to arrive safely for Steve Jobs. So that's my counsel. But like again, so hopefully that gives you some insight on kind of like what that exercise looks like. But nonetheless, thank you everybody who jumped on the messenger board. We're getting ready for our celebration, you guys. It's going to be coming here in 7 days. So what we got to do is we have to create a flyer. And once we create a flyer, we'll put it on the Journey to Greatness page, and then we'll put it on our Facebook page, and then hopefully get a couple shares, and then obviously the more people the better, for mastermind sit down, which is something else that Napoleon Hill suggests that we do. All the books, I think, have told us to have a mastermind and a group of people who can collectively come together and be genius together. So with that being said, thank you for joining me for day 156 of 365. with David McDonald, the GOAT. And everybody who jumped on the messenger board, thank you. If you enjoy these morning sessions, please jump on the Journey to Greatness page. We're at 31 likes, which is awesome. We want to organically push that so that we're not, so we can so people can execute that gold window of opportunity and just take the little extra step to like it. With that, have the best day of your life. I'll see you tomorrow at 5 a.m. and thank you for joining me today. See ya.